Hello, gamers, all my fellow gamers out there. How's it going? So this is Cammy once again, as always. John A, you know that guy, the John A guy, and the Pog Champs man. All my Pog Champs gathering around, and I just wanted to talk about, since I haven't released a video, I'm gonna be releasing some short videos, since that's just easy for me while finals are coming up and all that. But I just wanted to talk about arataki itto. Now, there's a lot of people happy about arataki itto, a lot of people excited, a lot of people about to lose $100 trying to farm them and only get 2 copies of them if they're lucky. And, you know, he looks cool, but first of all, his voice actor, I'm not saying it's bad at all. It's not really bad, it's just, I wouldn't call it what was expected. And whenever you don't follow up to expectations, it's, you know, it kind of falls a little lower down on the tier list of awesome. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of people who he's a buff boy. He's a giant buff boy that whenever there was leaks, it showed him being super tall. And I don't think I'm gonna get canceled by MiHoYo by saying he's tall. And people thought he'd be like a monster, you know, have a deep voice and sound just amazing, but he sounds just kind of like a delinquent from those animes about high school. He legit sounds like his voice actor was channeling out one of those delinquents instead of like a badass that has a gang. I guess I guess that's what they were going for anyway. They were pretending like he's from high school for some reason, even though he's probably 24, or since he's an Oni, so he's probably super old actually. But there was a lot of people hoping he'd have a deep voice, and what everyone was angry about was that they nerfed his muscles. They made my boy have spray tanned muscles, spray tanned abs on. You know, whenever you're going to like the beach or whatever, you gotta look good, so you paint on abs to attract all the wham into you. And that was a huge letdown. But after looking at his kit for a while, watching the gameplay reveal and watching him go over it over and over again, there's several problems that I see happening, not just with arataki itto, but with the whole of Genshin Impact itself. And that is the limitations that they're working with. And what do I mean by that? So right now they're kind of dabbling into other effects, like having people scale not on crit but on healing with Kokomi, and having people like arataki itto scale more on defense and attack. And they've done that before, but they're kind of focusing on that recently with our new 5-star characters, just to try to have like a diversity. But this is the first new zone we've got, and we've got 3 zones, and I believe there's, how many elements are there? Pyro, Hydro, Electro, Cryo, Animo, Geo, and Dendro. So we're supposed to get 7, and we're at 3 currently. And it's becoming severely obvious that they're running into a lot of overlap, as you could say. So take Xiao for example. Xiao is the guy who is an animo beast that whenever he's based off of his ult, all his damage is from his ult. You pop it and you start pogo sticking on stuff and you kill everyone. Now I want you to keep that in the back of your head. Look at Ball. Ball is a person that doesn't have a lot of damage at the start. She has a support E ability, and she pops her ult and does a bunch of damage and does a bunch of damage, and then you switch off of her, just like Xiao. Now put that in the back of your mind. Now look at arataki itto. He has no damage because you're building him obviously for defense, since that's what his ultimate and his ability scale off of, is defense stacking. So you're building him for defense, so he's not going to have any damage when he's not in his ultimate, okay? You're not going to be hitting massive crit numbers since his basic attacks aren't scaling off of defense, it's just his abilities. So he's pretty worthless to use if you're just using him like as your main DPS. You're gonna have to have a secondary DPS, like a sub DPS or like a ball to recharge his ultimate. And you switch to his ultimate, you do a bunch of damage, but this time, instead of it being just, you know, basic attacking like ball, it's holding down your basic attack button and doing your charged melee attack, and that's how you do a bunch of damage. And then when his ultimate runs out, you use his E ability as a support. You know, you throw that bull out, you throw that bull out, get some stacks, and then you switch back to your main DPS or your sub DPS and try to regen his ultimate again. And that's what we're running into a lot currently, is the more that the longer that we get into this game, the more overlapping we're gonna have. And the problem with overlapping this early on is that there's always going to be a best in slot. So if you have 5 people that all do the same thing, they're all ultimate based damage dealers, and then you have just, let's say Ball got an insane buff and her sword already one-shots just popping it. Let's say it did even more damage. Let's say her ultimate did even more damage. What's the purpose of running your other people who do the exact same thing when Ball is just the best out of all of them? And this will hurt sales, because down the line you're gonna be looking at arataki itto, and maybe I'm just assuming that he's not gonna be that strong other than his ultimate. His ultimate's gonna obliterate people most likely, unless they do him dirty with the scaling. But let's assume that he's not good. I'm not saying that he is. Let's just assume for this thought experiment. If he's not good, and you have people with a bunch of wishes that are trying to 36 star the Abyss, they're not going to buy him. They're going to wait for Ball. Now, there are people who love his aesthetic, and that's the reason that you're buying him, is for the aesthetic. You like him, you think he's cool, and you like his character. But when it comes to gameplay itself, why would you get him if there's just something way better than him that's going to come down the line, especially since they're increasing the number of rerun banners that they're doing, so you're going to have a higher chance of getting a Ball rerun every season, and people that are wanting the 36 star the Abyss easy are going to just be waiting for it, just like there's a bunch of people waiting for Guan Yu. There are so many people that want to be a Guan Yu haver, but they can't because they're just waiting for the rerun. And that's, I feel like, the problem. They're gonna have you're gonna end up having more and more people that just overlap, and there's gonna be a best in slot, and the only reason you use the other people is for aesthetic purposes. But then it's like, that's boring. Using the same person over and over, it's just boring. Why would I want to use, Ball over and over again if it's boring? I guess you can go for more characters, but you're gonna have it in the back of the mind, like, even me, in the back of my mind, let's talk about Zhongli. He's the best shielder in the game by far, no cap. There's nothing above him. Why would I run anyone else? Why would I run like the Toma? Toma's a new shielder who's based off of shielding. Why in God's name would I run a Toma if I can just run a Zhongli? I'd run it maybe a little bit in the open world just for fun, but you have to also spend so much currency and resources that it's going to take forever, and it's going to take so much resources for you to build somebody that's just worse than somebody you already have. You have to think you have Mora, which you have to level up the abilities with Mora, level up weapons, level up the character. You use Mora for everything. So you're going to have a bunch of Mora. You're going to have a bunch of level up books. You're going to have a bunch of material to level up your weapons, including the material you have to farm for to level those weapons. That's if you don't already have a weapon in slot for him that's already leveled up. Then you have to level up all his abilities, and you're going to have to do that all the way till he's 60 and then have all 6s. Just to see how his playstyle is before you even see if you like him. And why take the risk? Why take the risk of using all your wishes to get a character just to see if you like him? You can watch all the guides you want, but you'll never truly know. You'll just have to pray that you like that playstyle if you try him out in the trials. And if you like it, you better hope that you like it, because you're going to be sinking a lot of wishes to get either a 4-star or 5-star that you want. There's just a lot of problems that run in together with each other, and it just keeps stacking. Like all these problems are stacking up and stacking up and stacking up, and it's just it's overwhelming to the point where why wouldn't you only get the best characters for that thing if that's the only thing worth doing? Why would I buy all these other characters that I want to have but can't because of how long it's going to take just to get them usable? So, as you can see, there's a lot of problems that just are coming together and stacking up on itself. Like I said, you know, the leveling up people, the materials that you'll need, that's way too grindy. And that runs it, and that the only reason that's too grindy is because you can't farm it forever because of resin. It's like everything comes back to resin. And why would you get more characters why would you farm more character material if you already have a best in slot already built up? Why would you even wish for that character on a banner if you already have the best version of that character? And then it decreases the enjoyment of the game because of all these things. Like, I already have the best ball, I already have the best ult character, so why would I get why would I get arataki itto if I already have ball? And go through all this trouble, all this grinding just to try him out, especially since he's a new character and we don't even know how he is yet. You have to wait a couple of days after he comes out and skip all the new banners that are coming out. You're gonna have to skip all the new banners that might have characters that are 10 times better than him, and just hope that he is at least as good as those banners you're skipping. There's just so many unknowns and things running into each other. It's just, the more you think about it, the sadder it gets. Now, I was going to be an arataki itto haver, and this is where I come to the conclusion of my video. I'm no longer going to be an arataki itto haver. Because I have loved Eula since I saw her banner disappear. No joke, I saw her banner disappear, and I saw her basic attack combos, and over time it's like a pit in my heart just eating away. I already know she's good. She's insanely good. I already know that. And she's coming out in the banner before arataki itto, so I can either go for someone I know is good constantly and doesn't only need her ult to be good, or I can go for arataki itto and I can throw. I can hope that he's good instead of know that he's good. Anyway, that's just my thoughts and all. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Check out my other longer form videos that I spend a lot of time editing. I shall have them linked and they shall be in the comment section below. I spend a lot of time. It would be lovely if you checked it out. Now, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, Johnny.
Fat so me